Hello Steelers, and welcome to another bench report hobby update. It might be quite a short one, this one, because I've been quite busy with other things. I'll get to that in a little while, but I have been busy with other stuff apart from the typical hobby things. However, I did manage to get a couple of things painted this week. The first things were some Indian pattern light tanks. These are the ones that Paul had 3D printed me from Sabotaged. I found a STL online and managed to get some of these printed from him, so that was really nice. And then painted these up. Very basic, quick job on these ones. I didn't do them in desert colour. I did them in the British green that they were probably would have been painted in Malaya, although they were barely used in Malaya, but they are still there just as a potential use for the Indians. So they were nicely done. The other thing that I started to work on actually was some Pati Fields as well. I'm waiting for some figures to come through, some Vietnam figures, some Americans and some VC, US Marines. They haven't arrived yet, so I was hoping they would have arrived by now, but they've not arrived yet. I got them from eBay, more 3D printed ones from 3D Breed. But I thought, well, if I'm going to go around the Vietnam route, then I'm going to need some Pati Fields. And Pati Fields are going to be useful anyway for other Far East things, so like in Burma. Not so much in Malaya, because in Malaya they were fighting mainly through rubber plantations, and there weren't many Pati Fields in the areas where the Indians and the Japanese and the British and the Australians were fighting. It was more, as I say, rubber plantations than paddies, but there were a few here and there, so they'll be useful for that as well. But they are specifically for Vietnam, which I'm thinking is probably going to be my 2024 project when I get up and running in the other place. So the first one of these, though, I did turn out quite a mess. It was just a quick test, and unfortunately the water in it frosted over, because I used various different methods of trying to replicate the water, and it just didn't work. I've hoped that it had dried out, but it certainly hasn't done so. I think that's just going to have to go in the bin, I think. Some people have suggested using it for something else, but there's not many frozen lakes in Vietnam or even Malaya. It's quite a warm area, I'm afraid. Meanwhile, though, other than that, I've kind of just been really working my way through the other stuff. And like I say, I have been busy elsewhere, but I managed to make some work on these Indian armoured cars here, the Indian pattern armoured cars. There's 6 of these. 2 of them I'm going to do with boys anti-tank rifles, and then the rest just with armoured with machine guns, so it's just a bit of a mix, really. I'm thinking about trying to get some Indian crew for them. I don't know whether I'll get some Peter Pig figures, then just cut them in half and stick those in. That might just be one thing to do, but I don't just want to buy one pack of figures. I want to buy a couple of packs, so I'm just waiting to see if there's anything else I want from Peter Pig before I do that. The other thing as well is just continue work on the Normandy House, really. That has just kind of stalled a little bit because I've got some block colours in here and there, but I just haven't really done much else on it, and I really need to just sit down and just bang that out, and I will do. Over at the club on Thursday night, I played a game of algae. I took my algae collection down to the club, and we had Paul and Andrew and David and Bart and myself playing the Germans versus British, the RFC versus the Germans. It was a bit of a draw. The RFC had knocked down a couple of the German aircraft, but then the Germans absolutely mauled the RFC by the end of it. But everybody had fun. They all said how much they enjoyed it. And algae is such a great game anyway. It really is. It's really good fun. Absolute and utter chaos, as it always is. So another great game of algae pulls it off. And then finally, the reason I've been pretty quiet is because we've just been really busy working on the new 1:1 scale house. So my wife and I have been pretty much spending most of our spare time over at the new house. I've been working on stripping wallpaper and things at this point, and we're just going to carry on doing bits and pieces as it goes. So that's going to be taking up a lot of our time over the next couple of weeks at least until Christmas, but it is what it is, you know. That's just the way it goes. But hopefully that means that things will be sorted out and things will be pretty put together pretty quickly. We're hoping, fingers crossed. And yeah, that's pretty much it at the moment. The only other thing is to mention that I put out the Great War Experiment game just on Friday. I played it a couple of months ago actually. From the rules I've been writing for Great War Chain of Command, seem to have been quite a lot of people have thrown in comments and stuff about bits and pieces, and it was just a bit of a tryout. I tried it at the Steel Lard day as well, so I'm kind of it's been kind of sitting on the back burner for a little while for the last couple of months or so, but now I'm probably going to go back to it and just readdress it and have a think about it and see what there is I can do with it and if there's anything I want to change. But yeah, that's just at this point, I'm afraid, but there will be at some points, and I'm sure I might be looking for playtesters at some point in the future. Alright, I'll leave it to that. Like I said, not much else to say really this week because it has been pretty quiet. We're steaming in towards Christmas. I've got the Tabletop Basement game will be out next Saturday, so not Friday, but it'll be out on Saturday, so that'll link in with the other people who are putting content out as well at the same time. I believe they're going to have a trailer video coming out around the 10th of December, so keep an eye out for that. It should be fun, and I'll be talking more about the game on that, you will see. Right, as I say, I'll leave it at that. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button, it costs nothing. And also, if you want to, check out Patreon and also channel memberships because they do help out the channel. And I will see you in the next Storm of Steel video.